Good morning. Another class I'm going to record for you today. Hope you're all well. Start of another week in lockdown. A little easier now we can get out a bit more. I've started playing tennis again, so life feels a little better. Right, let's get started with a circle of the shoulders. Just bring those shoulders right up to your ears and then let them drop. Right up and drop away. Bring them up and let them drop. Really big, reaching up and letting go. And then we'll bring those arms overhead, hands behind your head, shrugging up higher, and then dropping and making space between your ears and your shoulders. Pulling them up and dropping away. Pull them up, drop away. Pull up and drop away. Let those hands come back down and just settle them on your waist. Just separate those feet so that your feet are under your knees, under your hips. Soften the knees slightly. Press the big toe and the little toe down into the mat. And then take your awareness to your middle and start tipping that pelvis back and forth. Just really tucking your tailbone underneath you. And then arching your back, sticking your bottom out. Few tuck in and release. And then when you feel that you're halfway, and if it was a bucket, your bucket would be level, you're going to draw in on your lower abdominals, pull up on your pelvic floor, widen those shoulders, take a couple of big breaths for me, and breathe it out. Nice set-up position. And we're going to start with a squat and a reach. Squatting down, reaching those arms forward in front of you. Reaching all the way forward, trying to make your reach forward and reach up on the out breath, and your big circles round on your next in breath. Last one. And we'll drop into our dumb waiter position, drawing in on that core, just reset that position and just widen on those shoulders, drawing the shoulder blades back and down. Breathing out as you reach out, breathe in to come back. Now that you've established that movement, add a heel raise. As you widen out, raise to the toes. Okay, change coming. We're going to take a step left and reach that arm out. Turn the palm down, turn the palm back up and sway back in. Other side, reach it out, turn it over, turn it back, come back in. Just keep that nice flow and back. Just starting to warm up. Just a little lunge. Okay, back to one side, and we'll just circle and round, circle. We add a little knee dip at the bottom of that movement, so staying with the same arm. Biggest circle you can manage me. But try and keep your body upright, keep your core drawn in tight. And change direction, we'll go forwards, but don't allow your thoracic spine to round. It's not that, it's not a round. It's your body staying upright and you're dropping at the knees. Okay, and then the other arm, circling it behind you. Little mini dip at the knees. Really stretching and reaching, and circle forward. Okay, a little bit wider in your squat, squatting down and little mini circles with those arms. Just holding that squat, circle back the other way. Okay, and then bringing those arms right up in front of you and back down in front to just the horizontal. Take them up, push them down, push them behind you. Reach them up in front, push them back behind you. Reach it up, push it back, just holding that mini squat, just building a little bit of stamina into your quadriceps muscles or your thighs. Reaching forward, push it back. Reach it forward, push back. Reaching up on the in-breath, push back on the out-breath. Keeping that nice toning in your core, pelvic floor lifting. Make sure that your knees are over your toes. Last one. Hands back down your side, out of that mini squat for me. And we're going to just lift into a tabletop, widen out and bring it to the floor. So a circle of that right hip. So a little bit of balance. If the balance is an issue, you can circle it along the floor. But if you can follow me and lift it and turn it out, keeping your body nice and tall. Okay, and the other side. If your hip does too loud a clunk, just lower the knee a little. I could just hear mine going for a rare old clunk. It's the hip ligament just crossing the quadricep muscles. It's not dangerous, it's just a bit disconcerting to hear it go clunk. Okay, let's step that wider. And we're just going to do an upper body roll down. And then a reach forward. And then a reach up. A reach forward. And a roll down. Reach it forward for me. Reaching up. Now when you're holding that slightly wider squat, try and make sure that your kneecaps are staying in line with your second or third toe, not rolling forward. Reaching, roll it down. Reach it forward, reach it up. Last one. Okay, coming in. I'm just going to silence my phone so that I don't get disturbed like I did last week. Perfect. Okay, reach it up and reach it up and zip and reach, curve it over. Reaching up, curving over. Reaching up and curve. Reaching up and curve. Okay, bringing those hands in front of you. Just drop those knees into a mini squat again and twist behind, keeping the hips facing forward. Breathing out, breathe it in, breathe it out, breathe it forward. Okay, changing that into a little notch. Just lifting those heels off the ground. Okay, I'm going to turn sideways. We're going to hold a push back behind. Push that leg behind you. So this is our scooter move. And hands are just there to balance you, but if you prefer them on your waist, that's absolutely fine. And then take that leg out to your side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. To the other side, back to the scooter behind. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And the sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're widening again. And this time we're going to reach, come through the center into a mini squat, and then reach out, trying to make a diagonal line from your tiptoe to your tip of your fingers, and then back through and reach. And that underneath hand flows forward to help you balance. Reach and into the squat. Reach into the squat. Reach, squat. Reach on the out breath. In breath through the middle. Reach on the out breath. Okay, back through that center. Walk those feet back in. Drop the head and we'll do some roll downs. Just curving to the floor. Picking yourself back up and then vertebra by vertebra, straightening that spine, cores in tight. Reach those hands above the head and reach and reach. Reach from one side to the other as if you're reaching for a rope ladder. Okay, and then hands back down the side. Down we go again. Peeling down to the floor. Picking yourself back up. Circle those shoulders, lift the head, lift those arms up. Back to that reach. Just really stretching out your sides. Hands down and all the way down to the floor. One more, back up. When you're straight, hands go up to the ceiling and reach. We're going to do one more roll down. We're staying down there this time. Just drop down to the floor. Fingertips onto the floor, your shins if that's more comfortable for you. And then just bend a knee and push that heel into the floor. Bend the other knee and push down to the floor. Bend the knee, push the heel, straightening that knee as much as you can. And push back. Just easing into those hamstrings. Okay, roll slowly back up. And we're going to turn and do a final roll down and come down onto all fours. So down you go. Into your squat, down onto that all fours position for me. Find your aligned straight spine. Imagine that there could be a tray of drinks on the small of your back. My trousers. Okay, and we're going to start with just a bent leg going up behind. Straight up. Good. And 4, squeezing into that glute. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then a straight leg back. 1. Breathing out. 2. Breathe in on the way back. Reach away. 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally 8. Last set, we're going to go out to the side and back. Out to the side. I'll turn around in case you can't see me. Out to the side, back in. Up to the side, back in. Good. Little press ups for me, just from the off your knees. You don't have to go into the full press up. Just dropping that forehead down to the floor. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then coming back to do exactly the same on the other side. So half leg lift. Still, you're imagining that there's a tray of drinks on the small of your back. You want even weight if you can through both hands. Reaching up. Almost trying to push the sole of your feet up towards the ceiling. Number 7 and a final one. Really push. 8. Straighten that leg. And the next move is a reach away. So you're reaching those tiptoes as far away from you, just elongating out from the hip joint. Reach away. Breathing out as you reach. Breathe in to come back. Eight, and then out to the side and back in. Out to the side and back. Out and back. Out and back. Out and back. Out and back. Now opposite arm to opposite leg. And reach and down. And reach and down. Reach and down. Really starting to warm up and work those glutes. Okay, just arching and hollowing. So lift that head and then drop the head and arch through the back. Lift the head again and arch the back. Curving the other way, dropping the head. And lift and curve. And then find that neutral, tuck the toes underneath you. And we're just going to lift up onto a hover and come back down. It's like a helicopter directly going up and come back down. Lifting up and coming back down. 4 and down. 5 and down. 6 and down. 7 and down. 8 and down. Release those feet, just drop into that child's pose and have a moment's rest. Couple of big breaths. Just note any tightness in the small of your back. You can rock your bottom cheeks from left to right to try and release that pressure. Come back up into that all fours position and just step your hands 10 centimeters further forward on your mat. This time we're going to go into our plank, so we're going to float up, reach forward and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend those knees and drop back and release. A couple more to go, so up we go again. When you're ready, inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, you float. Inhale to come forward, and then exhale, gently breathing in and out as we hold for our 10 seconds. And let those knees go, drop back again. Enjoy that nice stretch through the arms. Final one. Floating up and stretch forward. Let's hold this plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, a little thread the needle. Thread that through for me. Stay there if you wish, but if you want more, you're going to reach away with the opposite leg. And switch to the other side for me. So reaching and thread it through. Reaching to the sky, thread that arm through, see if you can lift that leg off, although it is always wobbly. Really check that you've engaged that core to help your stability. Final one, and let's drop back again. Coming back up, but move your hands round to the front of your mat. And again, easing back, so you've now got one arm bent and all the stretch on the right hand side. Coming back up, same thing again, left hand to the tip of your mat, and back you go again, really elongating all the way down this side. Walk them through the middle again, and creep them further in front of you. Okay, we're going to go over onto our backs. If you've got a small ball, use it. If not, fold the cushion. And we're going to do some obliques. So, cushion underneath your head. And we're going to start with our hundreds. We're going to just lift one leg to tabletop, second leg to tabletop, but leave your head resting on your roll towel or on your small ball. And just breathing in for 5 and breathing out for 5. Breathe in for 5 and breathe out for 5. Try and make sure that you're keeping the vertical on those thighs and just not squeezing the knees together. They're just a nice distance apart, just hip distance apart. We'll get 100 done, but without the pressure on the neck, because I want to do a bit of abdominal work today. So just wake up that deep core. Just a couple more for me. And then place one foot back down to the mat. And we'll move the ball so that it's underneath your left foot. And you're going to hold the ball under the left foot and you're going to reach away with the arms overhead and the right leg going away from you. Breathing out and reaching. Try not to make sure that you're keeping that neutral spine. Don't let the back arch as you reach out. Hands step back down to your side for a quick rest. We're going to switch the ball to the right foot. So that leg's not doing anything, but obviously it's more difficult for it to ground into the ground with the ball underneath it. Hands are coming up, and then you're going to reach away and come back in. Reach away and come back. 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 Two more for me, really focusing on a smooth movement and your core holding tight so there's no movement in your small of your back. Visualize it as a grape underneath between your back and your mat, and they just need to keep a gentle contact with each other. Okay, take your foot, the ball back to the opposite foot again, and this time arms are going to stay down on the mat, possibly 45 degrees away from you. You're just going to lift that leg up and drop it down. Visualize that you've got a paintbrush on your foot and you're painting the wall, reaching and flowing down so that the ankle lifts at the top of that movement and then points away. Okay, last one on that side, and again we're going to roll the ball underneath the other foot and then away we go. Oh, this is hard. You're going to feel your tummy's working. If it's too much with a straight leg, you can do it with a bent leg. Let's see if you can test yourselves a little and reach and lower. Breathing out as the foot goes down, breathing in as you come back up. Okay, get the ball out the way for a moment or two. And we're just going to do some scissors. Let one come down, let the other leg rest. This time, don't allow the middle of your back to hit the mat. You're keeping that neutral spine. And let's speed that up. So that one foot and the other, just the tiptoes touching down to the mat. And then swap that for your heels, which will be a little harder. Back to toes. And heels. Toes. Okay, and one foot and then the other back down. Hands up behind the head. And we're going to just crunch and lower. Crunch, keeping that visual of the grape underneath the lumbar spine. Making sure you're feeling that in your lower abdominals. Breathing out to lift, breathe in to lower. Okay, we're going to add a movement to this. We're going to bring your right leg up into tabletop. We're going to crunch and drop, come to the center and drop, crunch and drop to the center and drop. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Breathing out. You're trying to aim your shoulder towards that knee without bringing the knee too much closer to you. You're trying to hold that vertical position. And so sideways crunch, lifting to the center. Sideways crunch, lift into the center. Replace that foot to the ground and lift the other side. So oblique crunch, center crunch, oblique crunch, center crunch, oblique crunch, and center, oblique, and then center, oblique, and center. One more, and center. Let your foot come back down to the ground, and you're going to pick that right leg up to straight for me, and you're going to draw me a circle. Now your awareness now needs to be that this side of the pelvis isn't trying to lift away from the mat to follow that small circle that you're doing with that leg. So breathe it in, breathe it out. So nice and slow, nice and controlled. Oh, that's a heavy leg. Change your direction. And go the other way, nice and smooth, controlled circle, being very aware of what's happening in your core. And one more for me on that side, and then fold that knee, bring it back down, pick the other leg up to straight. Again, awareness, if you've got that neutral in your spine, core's engaged. Now this side's going to come under pressure as you circle the other leg for me. So we're stretching the hamstring, controlling the neutral spine, and really working the right hand side of the lower core to give this leg stability to do its circle. Nice, smooth, slow circle. Change direction. Don't hold your breath. Lovely. Bringing that leg back down. Bring your heels in towards your bottom. We're going to lift up into our bridge. And then we're going to go back to doing that painting that we were doing. 1, 2, 3. Bring that leg back in. Pick the other leg up. 1, 2, 3. And roll the spine all the way back down. I'm going to do a few of those. So imprint the back, float up into your bridge, picking up the right leg, paintbrush, 1, 2, 3, back down, other leg, 1, 2, 3, and roll it down. Up we come again, 3 on the right, 1, pointing that toe, pulling it up on the way back up. Bending that knee, replacing, picking up, 1, 2, 3, replacing. Trying to be aware that this pelvis isn't rocking or rolling while you're doing that movement, and then roll it down. We've got a couple more of those to go. So picking up again, right up high, pick that leg up, float it down, float it up. And the pressure really comes onto the hamstring and the glute on the left hand side, and then float that one up. If you're getting a bit of cramp, try and bring those heels just a little closer into your bottom and roll it down. Final one, pick it up again, reach that leg high, 1, 2, 3, replace, 1, 2, 3, and replace. Hands going wide. We're just going to rock both those knees over and rock them the other way. And then stay over on the right, straighten that left leg, and just take your gaze in the opposite direction, and we'll hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee in again, scoop the abdominals to bring you back through the center, go to the other side, turn and look over your right, straighten that right leg, and we'll hold that nice big breath. Okay, bend the knee in again, come back to the center, pick those legs up, bring them in towards your chest, and just give me a little circle. Got one more abdominal in mind for you. You're going to come out into that double leg tabletop, and you're going to press with the opposite hand to the left knee, and then you're going to stretch that leg away, stretch the other leg. No, I've got that wrong, sorry. You're stretching down to the bent leg and stretching the other leg, stretching this leg away. So you almost protect that ankle and that knee and reach the other leg away. And you can do that slightly easier with your head down. We'll do the first few in that, and then you can stay with that if that's enough for you. And then we're going to reach, head and neck are coming up. Really pushing that air out as you push that foot away. So you breathe it out, breathe it out, breathe it in, breathe it in, breathe it out and push. One more. Back to that squat, bring those knees back into the chest, little circles. Okay, bring one foot down, bring the other foot down. We're going to turn over onto our tummies. We're doing on time. Rest your forehead down on your little cushion or a towel. Bring your hands to your sides and tuck your tailbone underneath you so that just lifts your lower abdominals in and your pelvic bones are just off your mat. And then we're going to peel those shoulders back and just lift the arms and do our reverse hundreds. So breathing in for 5 and breathing out for 5. Breathe it in, breathing out. And then let's change the direction of that patting. So you're going to go sideways, in for 5 and out for 5. Really pulling those shoulder blades against the chest, against the spine, and really widening out your pectoral muscles. Breathing in for 5 and breathing out for 5. Your forehead is just resting down on the cushion. And rest for a moment. And then finally, this time we're going to lift the head up. And we're just going to crisscross behind our backs. And this is hard. Really tuck your tailbone down towards the mat. And rest. Let's bring those hands up above your head. I'll move down my mat a little bit so you can see. Drawing the tailbone down, just reach one hand behind you and then the other hand up. Just lifting about a palm just about 10 centimeters off your mat. Take your awareness to what's happening at your waist. Make sure you're not twisting in your core to get those arms off the floor. And then resting those hands, we're just going to kick with one foot and then the other. So just a little swim kick. And again, try and keep that pelvis from twisting, with keeping that core in tight, squeezing the pelvic floor, tucking the tailbone right underneath you. And finally, let's do those opposites. Opposite hand, opposite leg. So I'll do 4 more. 3, 2, last one. Bring those hands back just comfortably next to your ears. And we're just going to curl that leg in and straighten it out. Curl the other leg and straighten. Just easing through those quads. And let's just hold on to that quadricep. Give it a good 10-second stretch. And really pushing the tailbone down, and you'll feel an increased stretch on the front of the thigh. And then release that hand and pull in the other side. Really tucking that tailbone down and just pushing the quadricep into, or pushing your foot into your hand, and you'll feel that stretch on the quadricep. Okay, let's come over onto your side, and you'll have your hand above your head. Tuck that little cushion in between the ear and the shoulder. And we're going to have the lower leg, both legs straight for me. And you're just going to pick that top leg up. You probably need your hand in front of you. You're just going to float. Quite small movement backwards and forwards. Because the underneath leg is straight, you're a little wobbly. So nice point forward, pull the heel back. Point forward, pull the heel back. Point forward and pull back. Being really accurate with yourself, that you're not twisting too much at that top hip. You're able to try and hold your core to keep that stable. If it just is too difficult, bend that underneath leg and the movement's a lot easier. If you can, challenge yourself to that straight leg, a smaller movement but a bit more accurate. Couple more, nearly done on that one. And then we're going to go up and down. Now try and be aware that you've got a little bit of space just under the waist. It's your chocolate space or a little mouse hole just here. You're going to lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower and down. Try not to be white knuckled on those fingertips. It's just a light balance on the front of that hand with the shoulder blade pulled back. Okay, a little bit more difficulty. We're going to bring that lower leg in to meet it and drop them both. So pick the top leg up, bring the lower leg to meet it and drop them back. Pick up and drop. Pick them up and drop. Pick them up and drop. Pick them up last time and drop. One more for luck. And just bend both those knees in and just do some simple clam work for me so this hand can come back up on top. Lifting on the out breath, being accurate with your hip position. It probably feels very heavy now after the other work that the leg's already done for you today. But heavy can be good. It can be building some more muscle fibers for you. Ooh, it starts to ache. And then bring that leg forward, really let it relax, little tap on it. And then lift that lower leg and lower. Lift it and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Really well done. Bring those knees back in. We're going to go to the other side, but we're going to just do some sitting mermaids first. So you're going to hold on to your ankle and reach it over and then come back and reach over the top. Reach it over and come back. Coming down onto that elbow. We're just going to do a little bit of side plank work, and you're going to reach and stretch. Reach and stretch. Reach, stretch, and reach and stretch. Reach, stretch, reach, stretch. Two more. Last one. And we're going to go through now to the other side. And we'll do the reverse of what we've just done. Stretching. Hand above your head, little cushion between your ear and your shoulder. Straight legs for me. And then the hand just resting in front of you. Pick that leg up to hip height. Just drift it. Very small movement back and forwards, but you'll really feel that at your core if you're doing this correctly. Your body wants to fall forwards if that leg goes forward, and it's your core that's maintaining that for you. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and then up and down, breathing out, breathe it in, breathing out and breathing in, breathe it out and back in. And the tough one, which is where you're going to bring that lower leg up to join, lower down. Pick the top leg up, join in with the other lower leg, slowly lower them both. Pick up the top, join to the second, and lower them down. And that's when you feel the white knuckles coming in. Try to limit that as much as you can. Couple more. I know it's getting hard. I know your legs are tired. Okay, and then into that mini clam position. And just a straightforward lift and lower with a very heavy leg. Well, it could be all the tennis that I played at the weekend. 6, 7, and 8. And let that leg come forward. A little tap, straighten the underneath leg, and just lift it and lower. Lovely. Knees back on top of one another. Come on up into your sitting position. We're just mermaid sideways and reaching over, reaching to the foot, coming over the top. Okay, down onto that elbow. Ready for your side plank, up to the side plank, and you're going to reach and stretch. Last one, and come back down. Okay, just time to stretch yourselves out. So over onto your backs, little cushion underneath your head, and we're going to just bend that right knee in, pick that leg up, pull the toes up towards you, and then just reach up towards it. If you can, fingertips to your toe. If you can't, absolutely fine just to pull into the back of the calf. Pull the toes in towards you. Using that knee back as straight as you can get it. And then pop that heel onto the opposite knee and just widen out on the hip joint at first. Feel that nice stretch. And then for that little extra bit, pull the other thigh in towards you. Letting that leg go. Pick the other one up. See if you can reach towards the toe for a second or two. And then release the neck and the shoulders and just see if you can hold that stretch in the back of the leg, pushing the knee away from you. Still keeping the core and the pelvic floor pulled in tight to protect your back. Bringing that heel to the opposite knee, widen out. And pick that leg up off the ground. And release. Rolling onto your side and bringing yourselves up into long sitting. And just dropping forward. Straighten up really tall. And drop forwards again. Sitting tall. Shoulder blades back. Dropping forwards. Widening out. And we'll just reach over the top. And release. And go the other way. Narrow that base again. Cross your right leg over your left. Bring the opposite left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Turn and look behind you, and again sit really tall. Release. Other side, so left leg goes over right elbow, tucks to the outside of the left leg. Sit really tall and just look over your shoulder. You'll feel that in your bottom muscles. And release. Coming up onto your feet. We're just going to finish off with a little bit of a walk. Just getting those feet moving. You can come right up with those hands. Dropping those shoulder blades low on the chest wall. Pulls in tight. Coming back down. Let's do simple raises. Up and back down. Just slowly up, slowly down, slowly up. Feeling how much better your balance is at the end of the class. Your core is naturally engaging now. Widen out for me. Drop down, bending those knees and reach it up. Big breath at the top and drop it down. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good week, and I'll see you all next week. Bye bye for now.